Okay, so there's some simple rules that I try and follow when I'm doing blacksmith. The first one, when I first open the board, I want to try and look to get either one tile of the numbers each, which would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Doesn't have to be in any order, but one of each. Or one tile of all the four suited cards, which is the knight, the castle, the queen, and the rook. If you can do those all in successive, so you do here. I'm going to do the knight, and then I do the rook, the castle, followed by the queen. You can see it gives me the little bonus one. Of course, that'll work with the numbers as well. The second rule that I try and follow, I want to try and leave the corner tiles to last. Now you can see I didn't do that because it fell in with the 4 that I was trying to get at the beginning. This was a hard board to get that 4, but there's always one available somewhere. So from here on out, I try and just leave the corners for last. I want to try and get my molten, which is the wild card tile, in one of the corners because it's the most accessible area on the board. And you can see there are some places here where I could have done a different tile instead at a different time, and by all means this is not an exact science, but if you can follow the rules of leaving the corner pieces till last, then you'll have the best chance of getting incredibles at blacksmith. Now, an incredible is not just getting keen. A lot of people think that if you get keen, you're doing really well, and while it is very good, you got to leave less than 4 tiles on the board to get an incredible. So if you can leave your moltens in the corner, that'll give you the best chance to do this. And I go through this pretty quickly because I'm just following my rules that I want to try and leave those till last. The next rule that I try and follow, I want to try and get all of them in the lightest color before I start knocking them out. Now again, that's not always possible. You're going to have instances where you're going to have to take a tile off the board before you've been able to get them all to the lightest color, and you can see I just did that. Now, of course, there are a couple of rules that can override those. The 4s that you see on the board, those are the hardest ones to get rid of because there's only 1 or 2 places that you can get rid of those from. And so if you have a chance to take out a 4, even if it's before one of the other rules, be careful. You don't want to clear the board too quickly because you're using up all your 4s. And then you also want to make sure before you clear it that it's not going to finish your game because you're using the last spot for that tile. Now here I kind of ran into a problem. You see, if I hit that 2, then I can go to the queen, but there's no way for me to know what that 2 is going to be, and so it could be a lost tile. So what I decided to do instead is follow through, try and get as many tiles off the board as I can, and I'm going to use my molten here in a second. So basically I've decided to switch my molten spot from the bottom right corner to the top right corner by using as many tiles as I can before I get to the molten. I'm going to try and follow as many of these as I can. It looks like I'm about to use it right now. So you can see that not always does these plans work out, but if you can just keep in mind that you want to use as many tiles as you can before you use the bonus or the wild card tile, because once you use it, you only get 2 of them, and it's your best chance to clear a lot of tiles. Now what I'm going to do here, the only chance for me to get another molten is to get that 2 hit, and so I'm going to hit the 2, which will make me go to the queen, and then I can turn around and hit that 2 again, or the molten again, and I've left myself with relatively few tiles here and a bonus situation where I can use my wild. You can see there's the king. Now I've got my bonus. I've got only 4 tiles left. I'm not going to be able to clear the board here, but I'm going to leave myself with about 3 tiles, which should give me an incredible, which is the goal. Of course, If you can clear the entire board, you get a larger bonus at the end, but the closer you get, the better. And you just really want to leave it with less than 4.